FEI TV, and there's all sorts of fun games going on in the background, as you can see, in the Friends Arena in Stockholm. Do they have permission to use our bridge? Not sure about that. There's just been some great entertainment in the arena. Don't knock any balls off, please, chaps. With Volvos, there's even been a Volkswagen Beetle being towed by a pair of horses or ponies by the looks of things. So, really getting the crowd going on this Saturday evening in Stockholm for the FEI Driving World Cup. Leg 4 of 8 in the Friends Arena. We are in competition 2, and this is the one where it really counts. It's those places, all the drivers, all of them will be aiming for a top 3 finish so they can get into the drive-off. Last night it was nail-biting. There was 0.6 of a second between them. Those are the current standings. Boyd Excel, as you would expect, is at the top. Ijsbrand Chardon in second. Oosterland in third, running down. Michael Vogler had a great run last night. Glenn Geertz, Dries de Kriek, Jerome Boutaz, Marijke Harm, Jorg Rosteen and Bram Chardon. Now Bram will be putting some points on the standings table tonight. He has taken part only in Maastricht a few weeks ago, and then he was a wild card, so there was no points going on there. For Boyd, the reigning champion, the defending champion, this is the 4th outing for him this season. 1 as a wild card, 3 as a qualified driver, and it's only when they're qualified that they count. And you could just have a quick look there at the mechanics behind the scenes. That is the course builder from the Netherlands, that's Johan Jacobs. Great course. Everybody felt that it was a super course, flowed really well, just asked enough questions. Might just have to move number 6 over a little bit. You can see those lights. They're being shone down from the ceiling, and they're helping position the cones where they need to be. So it does aid the speedy building. It's great to see actually how these courses are built so quickly, because of course they're part of a really big programme of horse sport and entertainment at these wonderful indoor shows. So the drivers will be running in reverse order from their placings in competition. We'll welcome first off Fredrik Persson. He is the wild card. He is a guest of the OC, as we say, the organising committee. So that's just confirmation of the running order. So Fredrik Persson, he is representing Sweden. Glenn Geertz for Belgium, he will be next in. Marijke Harm for Germany. Then Michael Vogler, Boyd Excel and Bram Chardon. So running in reverse order, as always happens for competition 2, and that relates to the placings from last night.
Och i de här teknikhinder så kommer kuskarna in och då ska man passera ett antal olika portar. Det är A och det är B och det är C.
Course flowed well. We had some interesting split times coming out of 2 marathon style numbers 5 and 10. Element 11, obstacle 11, that's the speed box. As far as the rules go, you can have 2 different types of speed boxes, but Johan, you can see there he's got the 2 obstacles on a bridge, 11 cones, and obviously 4 penalties for a knockdown, and he's smiling. That's always a good sign. He's on a hotline to the rest of the officials, certainly President of the Grand Jury, that's Bert Jambo and Mark Benson, is also helping out, and
Igår så fick vi bevittna vad som vi kanske skulle kunna säga var lite av en skrällboll. Excel som kom från Australien har vunnit här vid nästan varenda gång han har kommit hit. Blev slagen av en ung och lovande kusk från Nederländerna, Bram Chardon.
As he dropped down through B, he made what was an absolutely fantastic turn, but unfortunately he went through D backwards before he'd gone through C, so the gate was still live. So the gate had not been closed off. So as soon as you've been through a gate in sequence, you can go through it again and again in any direction, but because he went through D backwards, now whether he realised he'd done it and just thought he'd found a cracking line, which he had, What he should have done was just drop down. He clearly wanted to stay on the right rein, probably a strength for him. And here we have the start. So that's just to clear up why those 20 penalties went on Michael Brooker last night. But it's all to play for again. It's a fresh competition. They might be coming in the reverse order from the placings yesterday, but here we go. Fredrik Persson for Sweden, ranked 16th in the world. That pertains to the outdoor results this year. Igor, Judson, captain, and Hermit. Fairly young team in terms of ages, aged 8 and 9. American bred, but now registered to this Swedish driver. Great European Championship. Excluded a particularly good dressage. He's placed 5th after that, Bronco Ball. And had some cracking rounds last night, and he's underway through number 1. Oh, and just flipped it on the left there. Frustrating early fall that goes on. The driver's not able to absolutely release through those first two obstacles because of the placing of that number 11. And an element has gone already. That's a couple of balls. So it looks like at the moment another 8 to add. Just needs to regroup a little bit. Not easy to do in the middle of an obstacle. Going through the gates in sequence. This is number 5 already. The first of the marathon style obstacles. Fredrik Persson for Sweden. Looks like 3 balls on the floor in here at the moment. There was that early 4 to add. Just waiting for confirmation of those through E, and just picking up his loops to F. He goes up and then has to drop down again through the middle of the obstacle. Similar sort of time, if anything, second two slower than he was last night, coming up again out of that in just under 70 last night. Yes, that's right, he scored 12 to add at the moment. Oxers at the top, 7 and 14. Those are the square shape, 2 pairs of cones and counters, one obstacle number 9, tucked in there next to the bridge. They have to collect a bit. They've got quite a tight line to get down into 10A, but didn't prove to be problematic at all yesterday. 16 to add now, another ball has gone. These drivers will have taken, that's another one. Just see those pesky balls lying on the ground. 3 to, another 3 to add here, so that's 12 on to 24. I was just overthinking it because he had a pretty good showing last night for Fredrik Persson. Just looping round. And once they're out of this 10, they have to go back up into the speed box where there are 4 separate elements in there. You'll see there's the V, there's mini Christmas trees in there, and of course we are in the first of our 3 pre-Christmas shows at the FEI Driving World Cup Series. Halfway point already, where has the time gone? He's chosen not to cut up through that obstacle some of the other drivers did last night, but he's just going to get everybody home safely down through number 10 to get to 15. The clock stops 1:84, weights 36, less than 24, but once the judges have just confirmed that, those will flash up again. 184.36 and 24 to add, so that's a total of 208.36, 208.36, but great to see Fredrik Persson here for the Swedes, representing the host nation. Had a bit more fluency last night. It doesn't always follow that it's easier on the second competition. Sometimes the horses anticipate a little bit, but in the meantime we move on And it's so fast moving here at the Friends Arena in Stockholm. We're already into our second competitor, that's Glenn Geertz. And there's a great piece of footage that's just gone out on the FEI Driving social media outlets with a lovely interview with Glenn, age 34, and he's got Berghaus Billy, De Solois, Erdball and Zeron. As he said, these horses are the same horses he uses for the outdoor events, and it means so much to him to have this incredible connection with them. As he said, they go through fire for him, which is really a metaphor to say they have an incredible connection. He's been working with them for many years. That's what makes this sport so very, very special. This human relationship. Yeah, it looked like that was a foot that caught number one. Foot bounced off the slope of the cone. So that's 4 to add for Glenn. Number 4 and on that right rein. Now you don't want to do that sharp right turn, which is what Mikkel did last night. He's looped round, but it's really what you're aiming to do is keep the flow, keep the loops. Glenn would dearly, dearly like to make the drive off, and he's really focused on trying to get to the finals in Bordeaux in early February 2024. He's been there before, he's even been on the roster podium before. That's the idea. Out in 65 now, this is looking good. First time over the bridge fine. You might remember last night when he tried the bridge the second time round, but that's a little ghost laid to rest in terms of the bridge for Glenn and the crowd getting behind it. As he said, he actually is very involved with training the Swedish driving team himself, so really special event for Glenn. Big horses, long legs, big strides, they do cover the ground. Very different in type and conformation from some of the smaller, more compact Lipizzaners that a lot of the other indoor specialists tend to use. But so far, only 4 penalties to add for Glenn. Talking to his horses, and he's out 132, 133. A note of these split times. Out of number 11 now. Yes! Well done, Glenn. Absolutely emphatic. He's not going to have that same question again coming down through the bridge for the second time. 14 Oxer, looping round, cutting off the corner. He is going to be through the finish in 170.98 with 4 to add. So good round from Glenn. Big relief. 174.98. 174.98. Much more together performance from Glenn and his horses. No question that they were going to go over that bridge for the second time. Just had to make a couple of loops last night once they regrouped. But, yep, just a couple of flying feet through number 1, caught that. Those back steps, bottom steps as we call them, working hard. Bouncing round the bottom of the carriage. Next in, Mareike Harm for Germany with her distinctive colours on those wheels. Mareike, our leading lady, well actually alongside her teammate and great friend Anna Sandman. Anna, who did actually have the opportunity to take part this season, but not had a too many other commitments after her great Lerats out for the season. They were part of a very good German team at the European Championships earlier in the year. Through number 4, Marika's another one who uses mainly her outdoor team on the World Cup, and it does make a difference, but these are specialist dressage horses. She's another that enjoys her relationship with the connection with these very special horses. Flowing, elegant, keeping the same pace, that's the key. Come on chaps, listen. Oh, few seconds to add there. Just went a bit deeper than she might have wanted to come into E. She herself said during Stuttgart, her aim is to show driving at its very best, to produce lovely rounds, elegant driving. She knows she's not going to be the fastest, but she is a great shot front for the sport. 4 to add so far for Marika Hahn. Stuttgart, you have to always keep an eye on your lead horses, but at the same time make sure those wheelers don't clatter. That's another ball just dropped there. So you make the most of your points of articulation. You've got it between the lead horses and the wheelers, and then you've got another point where you can really bend and move your turnout through the turntable. Technical excellence of the carriages, the brakes that the driver uses, front and back wheels. And there is the additional turntable brake that just locks it slightly on the straight stretches so the back of the carriage doesn't flip round. And the harness as well. Every element is thought of. So we're on 8 penalties now. This is round 1, competition 2, leg 4. Halfway point. Terrific series. And swinging round through 15, and the clock stops 177.61, 177.61 plus 8 to add. For Marika Hahn back in the series after her maternity break last year, when she had her daughter. 185.61, 185.61. That pops into second place out of the 3, and lovely smile. We had a long journey up here. The snow was falling from northern Germany onwards, and for the likes of Glenn, who was coming from the Antwerp area of Belgium, it was nearly 1,000 miles to get to Stockholm, so some stops on the way to rest the horses as well. There we go. Packed house in the Friends Arena. Michael Brother, in he comes fast. Probably has relived B to D in Obstacle 5 several times since last night. He won't make the same mistake again, but he is so committed and will hope to. Yes, he's got through number 1. That's fine this time. Not that in the drive off, but these fast horses of his, and he always gains so much in terms of speed, and he's a risk taker. Just watch his route. Talking to Baloo. Yes, he didn't make that turn this time. He's decided to stick on the left rein and not do that right turn. So through in the correct sequence. Now he can go through D. Staying on the right rein, bounce, 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 but you've just got to watch number 4. You can't be knocking that either. Michael Brother looking good. Baloo, come on, Baloo. And they're out in 65. Yep, that's a very good split time. Over the bridge. Looks like they've got carpet on it. In some of the competitions, you can hear all those 16 shod feet going over them. Talking of which, this gentleman is a farrier. Actually, pretty handy with a yard full of horses on an indoor and outdoor teams. Lots of feet to be shod. Change of pace from that run across the diagonal. And just collecting up again, bounce, bounce. Joey this time. All these horses know their names. So willing. Very, very keen. And out in 127, 128, great times here. Great times, clean round so far. Balls have stayed on top. He's got his route sorted. Over the bridge, 12. And they are running. There's the G-force on the back of that vehicle. Hold on tight, chaps, because this is going to be fast. Cutting through, not the tightest inside line, but he's done enough. 160.13. 160.13. He has just put himself into another drive off. Every fibre of his body, every sinew in those horses and the team. Well done. Confirmation, nothing to add. Time only 160.13 and patting. And puffing. That was some round, but he's got to leave something in the tank. Deep breaths. Talking all the way around. But these horses were really electric tonight. They were paying attention to his every loop, hand movement, voice call. Superb round from him. Some of the other combinations have cut down even tighter on that, but actually he probably made the decision to have a wider sweep and keep up his speed. But anything you can do, I can do better. Boyd Excel just picked at the post last night by Bram Chardon. So little between them. 0.6 of a second. That's how tight it was. Probably just that chicane that he had out of 10 in the drive off, where he just added a little bit and carriage just swept round. That might have been the difference between first and second place, but this is another driver that will have very, very keenly analysed his performance. He's pulling up, obviously, wants to just regroup. Just put his hand up. Ah, interesting. Just making sure that everything's in place. And the bell goes again. So the course is set, Boyd is set, Emma and Luke are set. Emma there quietly sorting out that additional fixture on the carriage. Grooms, backsteppers mustn't touch any other part of the equipment, the reins or the whips or anything, but the navigation on the back there, just keeping them right. And Emma is just as competitive as Boyd is. A tremendous team. Four brilliant horses, Bundy, Jupiter, Marnie and Mad Max. Mixture of Lipizzanas and German bred horses. And Bundy's now 20, being the mainstay of Boyd's indoor team, and his many, many wins and championships for a long time. He says all he has to do is steer, because he feels he's got the best horses out there. D, how's he getting to E? Yeah, double turn, figure of 8 actually, interesting. Keeping it tight, but they bounce, they have power. They can do that, they can do tap lines, and they can do speed. Out in 60, very fast, as we would expect. Graham might have taken the win last night, but as was said in the interviews yesterday, Boyd gets peaked, he can be even more dangerous. Running. Number 9. No more penalties at this stage. Oh, that's close onto that element. And a gamble that hasn't paid off. So 4 to add. And now he's through C and knocked again. That's another one, 8. It's now about getting into the drive off for Boyd, because he will start again. Here Emma keeping him right from behind. Out in 128, so not so much down on time, but he gained a little bit earlier on, 8 to add. Not making it easy for himself, but all that wisdom, all that experience, all the many, many times he's done this. Comeback king. 14. Already, Michael is faster. 165.22 plus 8 to add. We'll give you that total in just a minute. Not often we see that. Just a bit of a rebuild on number 10. 173.22, but that's enough for second place, and that is enough at this stage. Just a wry smile and a shake of the head from Mr. Excel. Maybe a little bit of anticipation there from the leaders. These horses are so experienced. They are professionals, and if you ever get the chance to look back through the biographies of some of these horses, just to see how many competitions they've done, actually it's very interesting to see who's driven them previously, who's owned them. Very, very interesting to read the history of the horses as much as it is the athletes themselves. Now, he will be aware what's just happened. I wonder if they were watching that round, listening in on the phone. You can only see the names of 3 of those horses, but I can tell you that the other one will be. So we've got Mara, Capitani, Fabry, and Kendi. Kendi actually, who's been a mainstay alongside Casper, who Icebrand drives as well. Really good, reliable mainstays of these teams, but Graham reproduced the form that he showed on his first 3 rounds in Maastricht last night. The pace of these horses, he just had them exactly where he wanted them, so consistent. They don't have the length of stride that, say, the Dutch Warm Bloods do, or some of the bigger outside horses, but what they have is power and bounce, and they can ping, and they can be tight, and they can bend, and they are so responsive. The confidence he has in them, the questions he asks, they answer every time. Looking very smooth for Bram Chardon. Round to E again. Similar route to the one we've just seen from Boyd, figure of 8. And out in 58, so that's 2 seconds faster already. Out in 58, He's up on the clock and he's got a bit of breathing space. At the moment, it's all about the drive-off position. Lovely greys, Hungarian bred, registered for Kazanas, but he and his father, the great Eisbrand. Odd times they're sharing their horses, but by and large they're able to have two separate teams. B smoothly through, balls on top at the moment for Bram Chardon, our winner last night. Tight onto those gates, tight onto them. Great lines from Bram. His first time here in Stockholm. And wow, did he make an impression out in 120 goodness. These times are great from Bram Chardon. Working so well as a unit, as a team. Heads level, paces level. Even though when you see them close up like that, you see the different heights in them, but it matters not, because when they work as a unit, which they are brilliantly tonight, if anything even more so than last night, cutting down, he's come on that inner line and he is going to be through and out in 153. What a stunning time. Stunning round from Bram, and the crowd are thoroughly appreciative of the brilliance that they've just been exposed to. One of the best rounds in terms of horsepower, driving, smooth, all going forward. That's what you want. That's how it's done. So Bram, as we would expect, has sealed his place in the drive-off. 153.35. Actually, in the final tally, not very much between Boyd and Glenn, but Boyd has just edged in front. Just look at the closeness there. Oh, Glenn, so near, but those two mistakes from Boyd added an expensive 8 and took up a little bit of time. But we start from 0. Bram Chardon, winner of the first round. Michael Brooker, second, and Boyd Excel, third. So they will come in reverse order. We do have this break. The rules state they must have a minimum of 5 minutes between the rounds, and it's a great chance to just smooth out some of those lines, some of the cones just being picked up to enable the tractors to come through. Very few empty seats, but they're just going to try again for a break. Break a sandwich. Fredrik Persson there for the Swedish crowd. Just that first one. And it's just the outside legs of his right horses, just catching them. He's long-legged. Dutch warm-bloods, Marijke. Smooth, had 8 to add, time not too bad, 177.61 was her time. But so far the night belongs to Bram Chardon, but it's not over yet. There'll be some regrouping, some quick analysis, perhaps a bit of replay out in the warm-up arena. Looking up the rounds again. That's unusual, it's not something you see very often. So the horse has just anticipated going through that gap. Actually, what he wanted him to do was go down and then come up on the right to be. Smile there from Bram. And not forgetting that we are now in Advent, 2nd of December. Christmas, the next weekend in Geneva, where we will have Koos, Grond, Dries de Great Bram Chardon again, and he's won for the last 2 years in Geneva, von Steen, Duran Futaz, and the wild card will be Anthony Holt. So that's coming next weekend, and we will be bringing the coverage to you on Saturday and Sunday. And then the following weekend we move to London, where we have once again Icebrand will be outright Palm Glen and Jules von Steen, with the wild cards confirmed as Lenton Truce and Boyd himself. So plenty of action in the coming weeks. Here in Stockholm we've got the dressage and the Jumping World Cups and special classes and displays from the Icelandic horses as well. Doing some shopping behind some squealing whips out there, and just a bit of rebuilding, making sure that those balls are back where they should be. So this is the round that really counts for those drivers that are set on getting to Bordeaux. They will be the top 6. So we have 10 qualified drivers over the 8 legs. And there will be 6 of them competing in Bordeaux, with the aim to be crowned World Cup champion. Of those cones is between 1.9 and 2 metres wide. The gates in the marathon obstacles are 3.5 metres wide. When you think that the wheels of the carriage for a marathon carriage, somebody just spotted themselves on there. We love watching you guys enjoying it as well. So the wheels are 125 centimetres, so the measurements are taken on the ground. That's the outside rim of the rear wheels. Just getting everything in place to ensure as fair a playing field as possible for the 3 drivers who will come in starting from 0. So all to play for in terms of the ranking points. The remaining 3 drivers, Glenn, Marika and Frederick, they won't be back in again, but they will have their placings and will also earn points. Marika and Glenn will for their position on the table. So same again from Bram. He said last night in the interview he felt his horse had another gear. Pretty good tonight. He was really accurate on his lines, hugging those actually quite lightweight elements. They do topple pretty easily, but that was very, very confident first round from Bram Chardon. Confirming the order that they're coming back in. Boyd will be first in, Michael Brook is second, and Bram Chardon. All 3 of them can be very, very fast. It will probably come down to ball staying on top, elements staying upright, because all 3 of them are extremely fast, have great horses, keen horses, capable of producing some really, really fast rounds. So Boyd back in. He will have had a regroup. Winner for 6 of the last occasions he's been here in Stockholm. From Bega in New South Wales. Goes all over the world training as well as running his busy competition and eventing yard in Harkensvard. really focused. Number 1. Now this is all to play for. 3. Oh, 4's gone. 4's gone. That's 4 to add. That was just a nudge there. So opens it up a little bit for the others behind him. Let's see them coming round on the right to D. Sticking with his figure of 8. Another one's gone. Ball there. 8 to add for Boyd through E. And through F. And with this drive off, because this is the one that counts for the rankings, they stay on the same course. So the F gates that came out last night, they are in. So this is where we can gauge the times in terms of what happened in the first round. So this is the 4th time these turnouts have been over this course. Very good against the clock, but 8 to add so far. Graham has put the pressure on him. Oh, good turn there, good turn. Good line round that element. That was E and F, and out in 118. Note that time out in 118. Very good against the clock, but 8 to add. Bridge is 12, and now it's about the speed. He's knocked it, so he's going back through it anyway. Quick thinking from Boyd Excel. All to play for. Competing, pushing, right to the line. Flag up and down. Clock stops at 152.85. 152.85. So that is the fastest time. Great on time. 8 to add. So that is just about half a second faster than Brown was. But are those 8 obstacles, the 8 penalties from the knocks in the obstacles, are they going to count against him? What is about to happen? So yes, 4 there went. Yes, you'll just see the knock there. A very impressive drive through number 10. Brought himself back some time on brilliant drive. That loop round the C element was particularly impressive. 160.85. That is where Boyd Excel is. He can do no more. He just has to go back out into the collecting room. Cool down area, we can call it now. Warming up if you're Bram, cooling down if you're Boyd. And it's all about this gentleman from Germany, Sonny Fabius. Baloo, we heard him talking to Baloo earlier, and Joey, Michael Brodler. Off he goes. He will be fast. He would dearly like to be ahead of his friend Boyd Excel. Can he do it? Through 4. A. Just watch his route from B. This is what counts. Yes. Got it right this time. Quite a wide sweep round, but trying to keep his speed. You make the choice. Do you go for the wider loops and keep your pace? Or do you really collect them up and bounce and bounce and bounce? He doesn't go for the figure of 8. He's keeping those wider lines because he knows his strength is the speed. And now with Boyd's extra 8 to add to his time. Looked like a letter, didn't see a ball roll, but we'll just wait to see if that was confirmation. Remember from last night, the letters don't count if they get knocked. Nothing to add so far. Number 7, the Oxer. Split time a little bit down, but nothing to add. It's a gamble. Speed, accuracy, ideally a combination of both. Or would you be in his position with the pressure? Collecting them up, back into a trot. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Dancing horses, so responsive. Just trying to leave those balls on top because that's what counts. He knows 127 out, 128. He's in touch on the time. So nearly there. Final phase now over the bridge. And it's all about the speed now. Look at the weight of the back steppers, just making sure that carriage sticks on the line, doesn't move out. 14, so nearly there now. Where is he going to be? It's going to be close, it's going to be close, it's going to be so close. Can he do it? Oh my goodness. 160.29. You can barely blink. It is so close at 160.29. We'll just double check there's nothing to add, but he might have just edged in front. What a round, my goodness. What brinkmanship from Michael Brogler. There we go, he's got in front. He has gone in front of Boyd. Wow. Bit of an upset here to the form that we have seen so far this season. We already have a different winner on leg 4 of this Driving World Cup. What can Bram do? Michael Brogler has just edged by the narrowest of margins in front of Boyd Excel. This is absolutely gripping. This is riveting. How is your heartbeat? What a brilliant round. Now Bram, concentrating, allows himself a bit of a smile. Sounds like they just asked him just to hold on for a moment. Probably just having a correction to the course. There's a camera at the moment. There we go. There was Johan just putting that fallen letter back in place. That's what that was about. And now, music goes on again. What an atmosphere in the Friends of Stockholm. What a contest. Bram Chardon. We will know in about 3 minutes' time, not quite, what's going to happen. Into their stride. Clock is about to start. The flag will come down as he goes through the gate, and he starts. 1. Counting down, keeping those balls on top. Number 3. Quickly, Bram, you've had 3 incredible rounds so far. Same again. 153.35 was his time just a few moments ago. Michael Brogler's just gone round in 160.29. That is the time to beat if Bram Chardon is going to win here in Stockholm at his first time driving here. Figure of 8, he's stuck with that figure of 8. Note the different route but he knows he has got the power. These are such agile horses. He can take those tight lines. Very, very impressive. Good time out of their 58. 6, 7, the Oxer at the top, opening up a bit. Through 8, in the bottom long side of the arena. 9 next to the bridge, tightening up to come through 10A. Now he pretty much went at that, not too much of a check on the reins. Horses trotting, bouncing. Tight round that C gate. Do a full loop round to drop down on the right rein to D, E, and F, and out in 116.17. Wow, this is an incredible time. If those balls stay on top, we are more than likely looking at our winner. But last few seconds in this incredible competition here in Stockholm. Really cutting in, same route that he took last night. 14, nearly there, he's so nearly there. It looks like it's going to be his. And 15, and it stops in an incredible 151.01. We have our winner. He has his 10 points. He has just won in Stockholm. Bram Chardon, 4 magical rounds. What consistency, what poise, what athleticism, what brilliance. Confirmation 151.01. And breathe, everybody. The crowd is on its feet, understandably. They've just witnessed an incredible round. The pressure got him a little bit in Maastricht. He had that extra loop and Boyd edged past him, but no, not today. Not this time. Not when it counted. We have a contest. Is it going to be Bram's year? Wow. Taking it in. Job done. Those wonderful horses. They did everything right. What a brilliant, brilliant team they were. Working together, pulling together, listening to him, responding. The lines were incredible. So accurate. So tight on those elements, in those obstacles. That's where he gained. There was no wide loops round the outside. No compromising of his game plan. Look at those left horses leaning in. Gosh. The science behind it. The PhD in there somewhere. And so the driving course comes down in Stockholm in the Friends Arena. We have a winner in Bram Chardon, 151.01. What a tremendous performance from him this weekend. Michael Brockler, so nearly his, but really over 9 seconds. But he's edged himself into second place and Boyd Excel in third. Just a knock there from Boyd. Uncharacteristic mistakes, but he won't make them again. He's got a week or 2 off before he comes back in London as a wild card. Great Stockholm for him, very consistent, just apart from perhaps that little 20, seems quite little now, that he added last night, but he still was in the top 3. But it belongs to this man, Bram Chardon of the Netherlands. What a year he's having. And so those are the standings. Bram has popped himself into 6th position with that 10, but remember this is midway. We have another 4 legs to come, and Bram will be competing as a qualified driver, so do expect him to rise up the ranks. Boyd at the moment on 25. He's earned another 5 points from that 3rd place, and just now Michael Brockler's put himself into 2nd place with the 7 points he has just earned. So it goes 10, 7, 5, 3 and 2 for the placings for the 5 qualified drivers in these qualification rounds.
Slightly in a hurry. Well, I need to take care of the horses first, of course. But next week I'll go to Geneva. So I'd like to have the 3 full days at home for the horses to rest and to see how fit they are and to make the decision which ones I'm taking to Geneva. But this was my first show for the 10 points, so we'll definitely have to drink a beer.
Congratulations and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you can perhaps just hear in the background just the tail end of an interview that Bram gave on site. He's just done that and kept him. Let's hope we can have a few words from him like we did last night once he comes back in for the prize giving. But what impeccable 4 rounds Bram Chardon produced. The lights are dimmed, but the torches are on the phones. What entertainment they've had.
Den här kvällen så kommer vi få in samtliga 6 kuskar till prisutdelningen, och när den är klar så återstår då herrevarvet där det brukar vara en fantastisk show där de visar upp vilken excellens som de här kuskarna besitter i att föra fram.
So Bram just saying at the end of that interview that he thinks he can afford himself a well-deserved beer after his few days here in Stockholm. They'll be packing up, probably rest the horses tonight, then start on their long journey home. And then he goes on to Geneva, but just will be resting the horses in between.
Gång efter annan när de passerar de olika hindren på det som är banan här.
So what happens out in the warm-up, cool-down, collecting ring zone? The horses are given their gorgeous rugs that they put on as the prize winners, and the rosettes are put on the harness at that point. And then they come in probably with one of the sponsors or perhaps one of the organisers on the carriage. What a thrill it is for them to be on the back of these incredible turnouts.
Vi har 17 stycken utav de bästa ryttarna i världen som ska göra upp i den hoppningen. Pengar står på spel, men också så står det på spel viktiga poäng i det som kallas för leading rider. Det är den ryttare som över hela meetinget i de internationella hoppklasserna presterar allra bäst och som på söndag kommer att få stå som vinnare och få åka hem med en sån där grön gator som ni ser på banan. Det är vad den bästa internationella ryttaren får ta med sig hem.
So a really enthusiastic crowd, families, young and old, through the generations in the Friends Arena. It's a very established show, celebrated its 30 years last year. Returned with a bang in 2021 after the pandemic, and that year they had 84,000 visitors. Swedish horse sport in a really good place at the moment. Patrick Kittle's doing brilliantly in the Dressage World Cup, and of course Henrik von Eckermann and his wonderful horses, most notably King Edward. Had a lot of medal winning performances in the last few years, Olympics, all sorts of World Cup and Indoor and Outdoor Nations Cup success for them. Sweden being such an important nation in terms of horse sport. In fact, it was in Sweden at the Olympic Games in 1912, so just going back a year or two, at the Stockholm Games, so coming back to a spiritual home for equestrian sport, that jumping, dressage and eventing came back to the Olympics, and it was all to do with Count Clarence von Rosen, who was master of the horse to the Swedish king. He had successfully petitioned for the inclusion of equestrian sports for the 1908 Games, which were actually held in London. That didn't come off for whatever reason. I'm not sure anyone's around to tell us why. But back in the day, it was all to ensure that there was some sort of military representation at the Games and to keep national federations and governments engaged. But he is credited with ensuring that jumping, dressage and eventing, the ridden sports, that are also represented through the FEI, were in Stockholm. And to this day they remain on the Olympic programme. Very, very much looking forward to seeing them at the Paris Games next summer. Interestingly, when the Olympics were held in Melbourne, and we go back to the Swiss-Australian connection, in 1956, quarantine rules meant that it wasn't possible for equestrian sports to go to Australia, so the organisers held the equestrian side of it in Sweden. And quite a distance between Australia and Sweden, but a big connection. And everybody just clapping to the beat. Such an important part of our Driving World Cup. And we will welcome our turnout back into the arena very shortly. Led by Bram Chardon, who really made this competition his own. He led it in the parade last night, and he's doing it again this evening on Saturday evening. Do, if you're watching at home, please take the chance to go into one of these arenas, wherever you may be in the world, for this competition, because it really will make the hairs on the back of your neck, you'll get goosebumps being in there. The atmosphere is incredible. There's Boyd, yellow on the third poster, is it? And Michael Broadley, he did everything right this weekend, particularly tonight. Got his B to D gates in the right order and hit Boyd to the post. Very, very little between them. 160.29 to 160.85. That's how close it was for second and third, but emphatic. No doubt at all. Bram Chardon, our winner tonight. Always incredible how these horses, just moments ago, have gone at such speed with such power round the course. And they come in, they stand so well, part of the training. Welcoming all our drivers back in with their horses. This is super. Everyone gets a moment to enjoy the appreciation of the crowd.
Prisutdelning här i FEI World Cup Driving, och för att då till de 6 kuskarna har vi World Manager Driving and Driving på internationella ridsportförbundet FEI. Vi har Sandra Ruland som ordförande för Svenska ridsportförbundet och de får sällskap utav Mikael Ingvarsson som är General Manager för Stockholm Live AB. Vi ger dem en välkomstapplåd. Vi har en segrare. The King of Stockholm this evening for the Netherlands, Bram Chardon. Fanfare. Och då ber er alla att resa er upp. Please rise for the national anthem.
How good must that feel? Bram has put his first 10 points onto the rankings table, currently sitting in 6th place, but he will surely inevitably climb up the rankings in terms of what he'll be doing to get to Bordeaux. Michael Brokler, your Germany, super round from him. All stayed on top. In terms of the time, there's probably just under, well, 152.85 was actually Boyd's time, 151.01 was Bram's time, but Boyd had those balls to add, and that was the difference between the positions. There's Glenn Gertz. In terms of getting a place in the drive-off, really so near. But when it comes down to those 3 places, Harm, and Fredrik Persson. A few words from Bram, which would be great to hear.
How do you like it? 10,000 people racing for you, shouting.
Yeah, it's a unique experience. I now understand why the drivers are so keen in coming to Stockholm. Today was just wonderful. The course was very nice. The organization did everything for us to make us perform well. The atmosphere for the horses, everything is very well organized here. That makes us able to show up what we do today. And the public, it's just spectacular.
I have been here several times, but I've rarely seen such nice and smooth driving. You have fantastic hands, fantastic horses, good grooms.
Yeah, it's working well together. I have my sister on the back and a good friend Tron on the back for the first time this season. He's picking it up very well. Me and my sister, of course, is a unity together. We do this for many, many years now. And the horses, we train those horses every day, not only for speed, but also for the dressage basic work which I need to get to be able to perform like today. And they were very nice in my hand. The other ones put the pressure on, but I knew there was a little window after yesterday. I took 10 seconds off my time from yesterday, and there was a bit of a surprise. But the horses, if they want to go, you just have to let them go. Don't hold them back.
Did you have time to call Daddy?
Yes, he was the first one on the phone straight out. He was super proud, and he said, "I told you the public is good."
And you're looking forward to beat him?
Of course, yeah. We're going to go home, Geneva next week for me, and then my father will compete again in London. And I think it'll be a fight next year who gets to go to Stockholm.
And when you go to Bordeaux, going to beat him there?
Not sure yet, but it's a good start for me. This was my first competition for the points. I'm collected now the fully 10 points, so I'm towards Bordeaux, but I'm not there yet.
You have one horse in Bordeaux, and the three rider will come a little late. Give him a big hand, Bram Chardon.
And as Bram says, there's such a huge organisation behind these events. Over 500 volunteers in the background, helping everything run so smoothly, and the stables that they have to put up and take down, all the hygiene measures. It is a really, really big enterprise. They have like a little city they build each time they make one of these shows. All the shops, all the other things going on outside the main arena. But it's all about Bram Chardon tonight. He gave us a masterclass and his wonderful horses. As he said, he spends just as much time on the dressage training as he does on the speed and the endurance side. Slightly different hats, but not with the business on. Say goodbye to Frederick Person for this series. Great job, throws his flowers into the crowd. It's good to have him here. In Sweden, and big grin from Bram, as he said, his father Eidbrand, who just watches every footfall that his son and the horses make. The first on the phone. Boys' night, which is unusual. It happens once in a blue moon, but my goodness, he'll be going home. Next time we see him out in London, just you wait. He'll mean business. Now's the time for the dancing. Just a bit of fun at the end, but the drivers do just to give the crowd one last look at their skill and brilliance. They do get pretty close to each other. three. In comes Glenn as well. There's Frederick. What a sight, what a sight. No Kilo. Bram to enjoy a well-deserved spotlight. Michael Borgberg, great night for him. Doing everything right in terms of getting himself to Bordeaux for the final. Just calling it a sequence there, and their top is lovely when that happens. It shows how in sync they are. So one more rosette for the crowd. It's a special moment. Oh, and there's more to come. Magic moments in the Friends Arena. Boyd exits at speed. It's all about Bram. Takes lead on these last few moments in the arena, waving goodbye to a very lucky crowd who've just witnessed something very special. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. I'm Sarah Dance, and thank you to the team at FEI TV. It's been an absolute honour to bring you this coverage. Next week in Geneva, can't wait to see you there. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.
FEI World Cup Driving här i Stockholm är slut för den här gången, och det var en imponerande körning som vi fick ta del av ifrån alla de 6 kuskarna.
Go. en riktigt bra och fin tradition här på Friends Arena när Friends of Sweden International Horse Show tillsammans med Svenska Ridsportförbundet premierar de som har tagit medaljer ute på stora mästerskap. Det är inte bara hopplandslaget som är ute och rensar in. Vi har en hel drös av andra med framgångar också. Bredvid mig står här Ridsportförbundets ordförande Sandra Rud. Hur många internationella mästerskapsmedaljer har det blivit?
Det har blivit 9 i 5 olika grenar och det är helt fantastiskt att svensk ridsport går bra på 2020-talet!
Det är en imponerande mängd och jag kan inte låta bli att tjata om det. Jag har ju tillhört de som har varit här länge. Det fanns ju en tid när man läste resultatlistorna nerifrån och upp. Nu tittar man högst upp här och vi utgår ju från att Malin och Peder och Roffe ska vinna varje klass. Vi är liksom i en ny tid, en stormaktstid. Du som ordförande då när du rör dig runt om i världen, hur är det liksom att träffa kollegorna? Är det de som ringer dig eller är det du som ringer dem?
Det är de som ringer mig. De söker upp och undrar hur har vi gjort? Och då får jag berätta att det är vårt svenska ridskolesystem med våra ridlärare och tränare som skapar bredden för att sedan ge den internationella bredden på toppnivå.
Det är bra. Det är bredden och det är därför ni är världens bästa ridsportspublik. Ni är de flesta av er är bredden och några av er kommer att bli toppen också. Är ni redo att hylla de som tog våra medaljer? Vi ska börja med en riktig skrällmedalj. Vår första VM-medaljör någonsin i Mounted Games. Ett stort grattis till Hanna Kindblom och Erik Svenningsson. De uppvaktas av Svenska Ridsportförbundets nya generalsekreterare Johan Fyrberg. När EM i voltige för seniorer avgjordes på hemmaplan i år fick svenska voltigelaget kliva upp på pallen och ta emot EM-bronset. Här har ni Ella Filippa Velander, Nathalie Brixland, Klint Fiskbäck, Klara Sjöström, Olivia Neilands och Julia Lindqvist. Ronja Persson höll i longerlinan under mästerskapet. Voltigelandslaget har tyvärr inte möjlighet att vara här, men för att ta emot hyllningen från er och Sandra Rudar finns Daniela Fiskebäck, huvudtränare för voltigörerna i Team Svea och den som lett laget fram till denna framgång, samt landslagsledare Pernilla Sjöstrand. Special Olympics World Games är världens största idrottsevenemang för personer med intellektuell funktionsnedsättning. 7000 idrottare från mer än 170 länder och 26 idrotter deltar. I somras avgjordes mästerskapet i ett stekhett Berlin och våra ryttare var lika heta. I den tuffa konkurrensen stod 2 svenska ryttare på prispallen. Låt oss ge våra medaljörer Katrin Chaussé och Hanna Lagerqvist tillsammans med lagledare Sanna Henriksson en stor applåd när de hyllas av Johan Fyrberg. Framgångar för svenska ryttare kommer i alla åldrar. På scenen har vi Children-laget i dressyr som tog ett EM-silver vid årets EM. Vi säger grattis till Meja Kinde Ljung, Milla Blomqvist, Tilda André Hokfeldt och Ronja Kados. Tillsammans med landslagsledare Anette Svanberg. Beata Hermelin och Obsession Night var enda dubbelnolla i EM-finalen i hoppning för Young Rider och klättrade från 12:e plats till silverplats. Podium och medalj när det verkligen gällde. Tyvärr kan inte Beata vara här med oss ikväll, men en stor applåd för hennes framgångar. 10 placeringar. Wow! Med ett fels marginal till godo tog det svenska laget EM-silver på ponny-EM i Frankrike. Resultatet hängde på sista startande Matilda Hansson och felfri runda. Och den satt i silver till Disa Hammarstedt, Nika Sundström, Matilda Hansson, Ellen Hammarström och Vera-Li Bartolsson Norton, som tillsammans med landslagsledare Sofia Bengtsberg hyllas av Johan Fyrberg. Och vet ni vad? Det blev ännu en medalj på mästerskapet. Ellen Hammarström tog ett silver individuellt. Friends Arena, vi har en medalj kvar. 2021 firade vi OS-guld. 2022 firade vi VM-guld. Ska det aldrig ta slut? Nej, det gör det inte. För nu välkomnar vi in 2023 års guldmedaljörer, Europamästarna i hoppning, Vilma Hellström, Rolf-Göran Bengtsson och Jens Fredriksson. Tillsammans med förbundskapten Henrik Anka-Krona. Trevligt att se alla. Ni ska hoppa några av dem. Vilma, vi måste ju liksom prata med dig. Henrik har ju vunnit OS och VM. Jens har ju vunnit VM. Roffa har ju vunnit allt annat som finns att vinna. Och de vann ju OS. Det var ju en bragd. VM var ju en chock över hur bra man kunde bli när de bara fyllde på med just Jens. Sen så är Malin och Peder inte med, och så får du komma in. Hur är det liksom att kliva in i det här gänget som har prisskåp som väger mer än alla deras hästar tillsammans?
Ja, det känns. Det är helt fantastiskt, verkligen.
Och sen att få åka på ett EM och helt plötsligt tillhöra det laget som är så överlägsna. Känner du det också överlägsen?
Absolut inte. Men att kunna dela den här glädjen och kunna göra det tillsammans är en otrolig känsla.
Är det någonting som man tittar på, någonting som man ser hur de rör sig, hur de gör? Jag har ju sett Rolf-Göran på en framridning. Folk aktar ju sig. Vill Rolf höja 2 hinder för att Henrik ska hoppa 2 hinder, då höjer han 2 hinder. Finns det liksom en pondus som man kan lära sig av det här gänget?
Det finns väldigt mycket att lära av med allt, skulle jag säga.
Det är bra, det är bra. Vi ska prata OS, så jag ställer mig vid förbundskaptenen. Det är en sak att